All right, so today, Charlotte City Council members in Washington, D.C., pushing for millions of dollars in federal support for transit and public safety. Multiple council members, I said today, they just actually returned from lobbying our state's lawmakers in Washington, D.C. They were in D.C. They're not today, but they were in D.C. I misspoke. Today they're back. That's what I meant to say.
Today they're back talking to me.
That is, they're back talking to Julie Kay, covering all things politics. That's the voice of Julie Kay. That's the face of Julie Kay. But two big issues that we've been talking about for a while now: public safety and also transit here. So that's what they were there for.
Yeah, those are two of the biggest things that they're asking for, and that's not uncommon necessarily for city leaders to be in communication with federal leaders, but this was a really interesting opportunity for multiple members, including all three of the new members, to go to essentially a conference with other cities to learn about how to lobby your lawmakers. And then the last day of it, they went to Capitol Hill and talked to them, our representatives and our senators, about what Charlotte specifically needs. Now, a lot of these things, you might think, why wouldn't the state do that? Of course, the state does not currently have a budget. North Carolina, as we've talked about multiple times, is the only state without a new budget. Of course, we're just kind of operating under the last budget, but that means that any additional asks they can't do. But one of the biggest problems is law enforcement pay, which you and I have talked about a lot. And so that is a piece of what they're now going to the federal government and asking for. And I got a chance to look at the document.
And Stein was just talking about this yesterday.
Yes, so very timely. Yeah. And this will continue to be timely until something is done. I mean, CMPD Chief Estella Patterson has talked about this at length to state lawmakers as well. But it's not necessarily just pay. We've got take-home patrol cruisers, which we've heard from Patterson before, more body cameras, police radios. Some of these things, of course, day-to-day operations, but some of these also recruitment and retention, which is something that we've heard from CMPD for years now is a problem. If the state can't keep up with law enforcement pay, there need to be other things that keep people here working in law enforcement in Charlotte, North Carolina. Other things too, we talked about transit, housing, workforce development, but they came with very specific asks of, hey, $1.5 million for this, 3.7 for this. And so it just put it out very clearly for federal lawmakers. If you get a chance to get some money for Charlotte, this is exactly what we need.
Wow. Yeah. Again, as we talked about it, I feel like we talk about it every time you're here. Funding, resources continues to be the thing.
Everything is money.
Everything's about it, which understandably so.
Sure.
Julie, when can folks catch your story?
I'll be on at 5 and 6.
5 and 6 o'clock. Julie covering all things politics.